Thanks for joining us, everyone. The federal government says it's aware of false alarms being raised in some quarters, alleging discussions between the federal government of Nigeria and some foreign countries on the siting of foreign military bases in the country. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, in a statement on Monday, asked the general public to disregard the story. He said government is not in any such discussion with any foreign country or considering any proposals for the establishment of foreign military bases in Nigeria. Mr. Idris adds that Nigerian government already enjoys foreign cooperation in addressing ongoing security challenges and that the president remains committed to deepening these partnerships with the goal of achieving the national security objectives of the renewed Hope Agenda. In a related development, the United States Chargé d'Affaires has clarified that the U.S. is not planning to build a military base in Nigeria, contrary to the stories circulating in the media. In an exclusive interview with TVC, Ambassador Green acknowledged that indeed the Niger junta asked the U.S. to leave, but the U.S. has no current plan to build a base here in Nigeria. Moyo Thomas reports.
Nigeria enjoys a robust military cooperation with the United States. This has significantly helped Nigeria's counter-terrorism fight. It has also, to a large extent, helped to stabilize not just Nigeria, but the West African region. The U.S. has promised to continue in this partnership, while reacting to the story making the rounds on plans to build a military base in Nigeria.
I'm not aware of any such conversation, and I'm not really sure whose purpose it serves to agitate on this point. So we will continue our very strong security cooperation with the Nigerian security services and the Nigerian military and the Nigerian government, and that will always be in a spirit of partnership and respect for each other.
Also, on other partnerships, he says the U.S. government spends about $1 billion on health and humanitarian assistance in Nigeria yearly.
An assistance agreement that covers a 5-year period for about $2.5 billion, but we add money to it as it becomes available, and one of the areas where we've added a lot of money in recent years has been in the humanitarian assistance side. So that's reached almost $300 million a year out of that billion. But it varies. You know, some years it's 900 million, sometimes it's 1.2 billion, but it's an awful lot, and we're very proud of the cooperation that we pursue through it. A lot of the money comes, I'm sorry to go on, but a lot of the money comes through the President's Emergency Program for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR, and that has, we've accomplished great things together in terms of bringing us to the verge of epidemic control of HIV/AIDS here. So, you know, we're making the investments.
The U.S. affirms its continued commitment to improving the Nigeria-U.S. bilateral relations, including in movements of people, as the Chargé d'Affaires disclosed that over 87,000 visas were issued in 2023. Some have expressed concern over increased insecurity in the West African region as the U.S. military base is set to leave Niger. They believe that avoiding escalated attacks in the West African region may require more proactiveness from ECOWAS in order to ensure continued stability of the region. Moyo Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
Moyo Thomas joins me on the news at 10. The Chargé d'Affaires was clear about not knowing any information about a possible military base here in Nigeria. But is he concerned, and indeed the United States, about the news making rounds in the media in this regard?
Yes, definitely. He actually expressed that, and he wondered why the need to agitate Nigerians or even the whole of West African region on the fact that U.S. and also France who believe in Niger, as the military junta has told them to vacate and not to vacate the military base. But then they also assure, which I think is most important at this time, of the continued support to fighting terrorism and other insecurity across the West African region.
Absolutely, and is also talking about continued relations as well as investment in the country. But there's a lot of inroads of both Russia and China into Africa. Many have said that is a huge competition for the U.S. market here. Talk to us about what it thinks about what seem some form of animosity between West African countries and the United States.
Nifemi, if you would call it U.S. market, if I heard you right, I think you said U.S. market, well, that would be an interesting one. Though Nigeria is a non-allied country, I will just stay on Nigeria. Nigeria is a non-allied country, so it therefore has a right to keep its relations with any country. And with the need for development now, there can't be reliance on just one country or one bloc. There is need to open the doors to all the countries that are interested to partner and help Nigeria. For example, Germany is helping in the area of energy transition. U.S. is helping in humanitarian assistance. China is helping in infrastructure development. So it's a really wide door for all the countries to help and for Nigeria to ultimately achieve the goal of development.
There are concerns also as to what's the next move for the U.S. now when you consider the huge investment it's made in its military bases in these countries that have now become hostile. Is the U.S. really planning to plant the bases in other countries in Africa, or it's leaving the continent for good?
Well, at the moment, the plan is to leave Niger and then still continue in the support for counterterrorism. What the next move will be, we will have to wait for the U.S. government to make that open. As the chargé d'affaires says, talks are still on, but then he didn't disclose what the discussion is at the moment. So we'll wait for the U.S. government on whatever the next plan of action will be, and more importantly also France.
Really interesting days ahead. Moyo Thomas live for us in our Abuja studio.